Sagittarius, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. Welcome in. We're wrapping up our season in Cancer. We're about to move into Leo season. We've had a couple planets go into retrograde since we've talked last, and we have a new moon on the horizon, as well as Chiron going into retrograde as well at the end of the month. So Chiron is the wound healer. We have 3 out of the 4 planets, Mercury's in retrograde, but the other planets are outer planets. And outer planets really deal with our spiritual growth, evolution. That's why so much of the change that we're going through is challenging us on these deep fundamental levels, right? Places that either we are not expecting or we're just hoping they don't change, or the things that we've been intuiting, understanding that are kind of coming towards us are actually happening, right? That can be a little destabilizing, right? As humans, we like to be comfortable. I think our brain gravitates towards what is the most comfortable. But sometimes that means that we resist things that are good for us. Things that we know need to change. And that's definitely being highlighted right now. Pluto moved into Aquarius last November, officially, I should say. It stays in the sign for the next 18 years or so. So it really is giving us an opportunity to kind of set the stage for how we want to live life over the next 20 or so years, I should say. It's a lot, right? It's a lot to take in. Life goals, right? But that's also why I like to start off the readings with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. Cleanse out those places we're feeling blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, Sagittarius, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really good way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just looking for more of a realignment of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're feeling grounded in self, when we know who we are, what we want, which is what alignment brings us, it's way easier to manifest our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance, that life that we all deserve. And I would love to help support in whatever way possible, Sagittarius. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Oops, sorry. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love, Mama Love. All right, Sagittarius, so you feel like a little remorseful or regretful about something. I feel like you're kind of sitting in a little bit of disappointment this week. Disappointment of how things have gone. Not everything is bad. I don't get that vibe. I feel like this is more just about where your path has led you, right? It's when we're in that mode of reflecting on what has gotten us to this point, that's how you feel this week. Your energy feels like you're trying to just take some time, 100% with this soul solitude card. It's important to take time. I guess I should say it that way. It's important to kind of just make sure that you're investing in yourself. Sagittarian energy is so expansive, and it's all about going, doing, making things happen, growing, evolving, which I love. It's one of my favorite energies. At the same time, like, we kind of have to know when to stop or when to slow down, maybe is a better way to say that. And right now, with all these planets in retrograde, it's like a great time to do so, especially because like Leo season is definitely about like letting yourself shine, right? Like just kind of putting your best foot forward, connecting with people, situations that are going to amplify your best attributes, which I feel like there will be a time for that, but we're starting off Leo season with Mercury in retrograde. It will be there for a couple weeks through mid-August. We also have that Chiron going into retrograde, and Chiron is the wound healer. It's what helps us grow. It's what helps us evolve. But here's the thing. I love this energy for you. Like, what I'm basically seeing is like, you're looking at things from this topical perspective and you're like, I know change needs to happen, right? Like, whatever has brought you to this point, I think it was intentional, or that's how it looks. Like, it doesn't look like you were like dragged, by your feet to this space that you're in right now. Like, things have kind of worked out for you, but I don't know that it feels right. That's what I'm getting at, right? There's this part of sometimes in life, right, we set all the pieces into place, the things that look good on paper, but then once we actually are like dealing with it on a day-to-day basis, it's not as great, right? It might not be exactly what you want. It might not be what you were trying to manifest. And so much of what we're going through right now astrologically is challenging that for us. It's what I think about Sagittarian energy, because you're very good at evolution, it's very easy to manifest to some capacity, right? And manifestation has really been a theme lately. We're always manifesting, like attracts like. Quantum physics has proven it. Bosons of a feather flock together. Look it up if you're interested. Sorry, just for those of us who are a little bit more rational or like maybe don't ascribe to the woohoo as much. Legit, the law of attraction is a real thing. And what is being highlighted right now, as I was getting at in the astrology, is very much this value of like how we're letting that play out in our lives. And it goes back to exactly what I was saying, right? Like, you have pieces in order, you have pieces in place that were exactly what you wanted, so to speak. But you're not seeing that whomever, whatever that you've chosen is delivering in a way that feels more authentic to your heart. And so it's pushing you in this position to make some changes, right? Kind of be the person on top. The Empress is definitely the queen. And that's how your energy is coming through, right? Like, you know what to do. You've built your life to this point. And there is success here, or that's what it's showing. Even if you don't feel successful, even if you're not achieving your goals to date, it's showing that whatever you've learned, whatever wisdom you've gained through the process is so valuable. And it's going to take you far. And you know that because we have this Sagittarian energy for you. Like, you're stepping into your power. That's how I'm seeing this. Like, the progress of it is like, hey, I got what I want, but I'm not 100% certain this is where I want to land. Now that I see I can do this, now that I see I can actually call in what I want, now I want to change. Or it's not even that you want to change. I think like the change is a little inconvenient. I'm not going to lie, because we have this explore energy in your blocked energy. So it's basically talking about how maybe you didn't give yourself enough time, or maybe you kind of like took something too quick that is not really in alignment with 100% how you want things. And I understand not everything's perfect. I'm not trying to sell this story, but you're like, there is regret, right? We see this with the Three of Swords. There's regret, there's remorse, there's things in this dynamic that you wish would have played out a little bit differently. Someone has chosen to do their own thing. I and you know, here's the thing. I'm not sure that you are moved by this person or situation, but whatever, like in terms of, you know, they're kind of, it looks like someone's setting some boundaries. It looks like they're trying to get a certain response out of you. And you recognize all that. But at the same time, you're looking at this again, like, was this really what I wanted? I thought I was investing in something that was bringing me that abundance, and I don't know if I'm seeing it that way anymore. And a lot of this is because of how you're being treated. It's the way someone's handling a situation, and it looks like they're handling it in an immature way. They're letting their fear, they're letting their anxiety get to the best of them. They want to hold off. They want to pump the brakes. Again, this was something that you were hoping for, that you wanted. And then as it's playing out, it's like, no, this is actually not what I was anticipating. And if anything, I feel like there have been an exchange of words. Communication was heavily highlighted this past week, and especially as we're moving into Mercury retrograde. It goes into retrograde on the 18th. So when this video, or the reading, sorry, I should say, is when I'm uploading this reading. But it has this value, and like oftentimes Mercury retrograde really rehashes things of the past, especially communications. It looks like whatever was communicated is putting a different spin on things. And I feel like in some ways, you're not questioning yourself, but you're seeing yourself through someone else's eyes. And it's really painful. It's really painful because, again, whatever energy you're dealing with doesn't feel very mature. It doesn't feel like they're, this is just someone who's really, really emotional. So not good, bad, right, or wrong. We're also in water season, Cancer energy. So people are having a harder time managing their emotions, or emotions can feel all over the map. And as I'm recording this, the moon is in Taurus. So it's like forcing us to deal with what we have, what is in front of us, which might not be the easiest of things. And I think you're seeing that. That's why you're in this space of like, okay, I think I need to take a different approach. Whatever's working out here, it's not working. And I think maybe you fell back on something that was easy, that was familiar, that, again, I don't say that in disrespect to you, because on the surface it looked good, right? It goes back to that original message. On the surface it looked good. It looked like it was ticking all the boxes, but in reality, all it's done is brought you a lot of conflict, a lot of disappointment, a lot of sadness. You have to go back to the drawing board, and I feel like you're definitely in this position this week where it's like, what are my next moves gonna be? Whatever this dynamic is, it's not really working. And you know that. Like, you know that. I feel like what you're going to be processing through this week is like, okay, what are my next steps? I'm seeing the reality of something. It's not aligning with me. There are opportunities to change, or also just like questioning whatever those opportunities are that are needed. I mean, this is stuff that's needed. If you don't, then you're going to be in the same cycle. But I'm very encouraged with this immense growth card because I think it really speaks to the hard work that you've done. Maybe this isn't an easy situation for you to see through. Maybe this is someone who's close to you, someone who you trusted, you thought was like you. And I'm saying it in the way that you thought you were on the same page, right? You thought that like, hey, if I'm doing this and communicating this, they're going to give this back to me. And it's like, no, they're not at all. Because here's the thing, they're out for their own success. And as I'm saying that, no expectations is on the bottom of the deck. So sometimes we interpret people connecting with us, talking to us as like, oh, hey, they want the same things that I do. I'm also seeing that like whatever's being highlighted this week is the fact that it's not, right? That you are on two different pages. And again, Spirit's really emphasizing the fact that you're able to see through this is the lesson. It's not the lesson. I don't want to say that in a disrespectful way, but it's like, that's the value, right? That is the wisdom gained from the lesson. That's what I was looking at. Yeah, Master Manifester. I love that. Don't forget that about yourself, Sagittarius. Like I said, I love Sagittarian energy. It knows how to get what it wants, and it's amazing because life is about expansion and growth, etc., right? But there's also, sometimes we don't need to force the issue, and I feel like that's exactly what this surrender to receive is all about. Sometimes we don't need to force the issue. Sometimes it's like, you know, walking up to the counter, placing your order. When it comes to manifestation, it's like, hey, I want this, this, and this. And then it's just surrendering, knowing that the universe is going to deliver this to you and not feeling like you have to do anything outside of putting it out there, making connections where you need to, and letting Spirit bring it to you. I feel like that's the bottom line, because you're so good at manifesting, it's easy to like rely on that strength. But what I'm seeing for this week is getting really clear on how you want things to move forward, what this actually looks like for you, and then put that into action, right? Like, don't try to force something that's not working. If it's not working, it's not working, and that's where sleeping dogs need to lie, right? And you know that. I feel like this is, you know that. Part of the hesitancy is just like not really wanting to like be bothered, to like do more than what you have to do. I totally get that. It's hard, but at the same time, it's going to serve you way better down the long run. Because again, where you're at right now, it doesn't feel content, or it feels like this isn't what I wanted. And that's kind of where Spirit's asking you to look at why it's not what you wanted and making changes accordingly. So I hope this helps, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for your time, energy always. I super appreciate you. I hope you found messages that resonated here for you. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share, and a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.